So for me, it truly is a great honor to be here tonight and to celebrate the life of Lee Morgan. But before I can do that, I wonder whether somebody can bring a glass of water for me, please, because we need to do something very special. Just a glass of water, and I will explain. You see, we are celebrating Lee Morgans, who exactly 50 years ago left this world at Slugs. So, in the pure African tradition, where Lee Morgan came from, we need a very small but meaningful ritual. We will pour a bit of water and just say, Ashe, 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 Ashe. Thank you so much. So, why are we here tonight? We are here tonight, I believe, because of two great individuals who, in my opinion, are very, very meaningful to the world of arts. One, of course, is Lee Morgan, and the other is my brother, friend, mentor, and guru, Alan Bushman. I just want to say that when you listen to Lee Morgan's music carefully, you will see that he came at the crossroads of what maybe some people today will call world music, because his jazz, which was a crossover to rhythm and blues and to many other things, he was actually visionary, because it is in the 70s that someone like Manu Dibango with his Soul Makossa, trying to borrow from some of the same beat, some of the same saxophone or trumpet, was able really to win the world. And listen to some of the best tracks by Lee Morgan, and you will see that Lee Morgan was truly an African. And he gave, in his call and response way of playing the trumpet and answering to the drummers, he had a way of putting it together. Think about the wealth he brought. The short time he was on this earth, he gave so much. He inspired so many people, and his music was so powerful. He was a true genius. And in the Mandinka tradition, music was before creation. So there was music, and then after that, we had the world. Thank you very much, and have a very good evening.
Did you know Lee Morgan's wife, our common law wife, Helen?
Yes, I did. Helen Morgan. She was a lovely lady. I'm when I used to go over Lee's house, she was always there. She was very cordial. She'd always come to all his gigs, always supporting him, and really helped him get off drugs and on methadone. She would book his gigs for him. I remember one time, as you saw in the movie, Lee had this extracurricular girlfriend away from Helen, a young, attractive young lady. And when I would pick up Lee and take Lee and Helen club hopping to different gigs, I had a little sports car, and Helen would sit in the back in the jump seat, and Lee would sit in the front. We're driving to the gig. So
Wow.
Lee decided this is about 2 weeks before that tragic thing at Slugs happened.
Mhm.
And so he confessed to Helen in my car.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. That he said, Helen, God knows I love you. I'm driving, I don't know what he's going to say. He says, but I have this young girlfriend that my nose is open. I really love her, but I'm not going to disrespect you.
Mm.
So Helen started crying.
Mm.
He started crying. I had to pull over the side road. I started crying. I mean, it was tragic. It was tragic, because she really loved him, As you saw in the movie, she really did not want to go that night. And the people that I know who were there were Harold Mayburn and Billy Harper. They actually saw the event when it went down. And so they tell me, Lee came in there, and Helen came over and got in an argument with the new girlfriend, and it was a snow blizzard outside, as you saw in the movie, right? And so Lee slapped Helen and threw her out in the snow blizzard. But no, let me preface this by saying, Lee, the only reason Helen came down because Lee had bought he had just had a record day with Charles Earland and made $800 and bought $800 of drugs, some cocaine,
Oh, wow.
from the dope man, and it was no good. So Lee called the man and said, I want my money back. So the dope man said, you know what, you can take it, and hung up. So Lee called Helen, told him to bring his gun to the gig.
Oh,
That's
wow.
why she brought the gun
Oof.
for him.
Whoa.
That's not in the movie. That's not in the movie.
Not in the movie.
Yeah. And so she brought the gun for him. And then in the heat of passion, when he threw her out, and then it was snowing, she came back to get her coat,
Wow.
And then when he saw it, he said, I thought I told you, raised his hand, and instinctively she pulled the gun out and shot him,
Oh my God.
And then Benny Maupin, not Benny Maupin, Billy Harper and Harold Mayburn both told me that she screeched, "Oh, Morgan, I didn't mean to do that." And on his dying words, as he's falling to the ground, about to die, she went to to grab him, and Lee says, "Don't touch me, you old black bee." Police came, and I guess took her to jail. Then they saw she was out of her mind, took her to Bellevue Hospital, And Benny Maupin, who knew that Lee and Helen, because Benny used to play with Lee, Benny said he went to Bellevue Hospital. She's in a straitjacket, and she was out of herself. She looked at Benny and said, Benny, I had a weird dream last night that some old black woman shot and killed Lee. Ain't that a bitch? She didn't realize it was her.
Wow.
And the only other thing I have to say about Helen, after she got out of the hospital, I was playing, I think with Herbie Hancock at City Center, and I was outside backstage in the street, on the intermission, and Helen Morgan comes walking up the street.
Wow.
And saw me, says, Eddie, and hugged me, and just, she says, Eddie, I didn't mean to do that. I said, I know.
Marty Jaffe on the bass. Jonathan Thomas on the piano. Chris Lewis on the saxophone. Darian Douglas on the drums. My name is Alfonso Horn. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time. Thank you so much, Russell. Thank you so much, Primick Russell Tubbs. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan, so much for putting this together.